Everybody Loves Raymond is remembered as one of the most iconic sitcoms of all time, a show that made us laugh, sometimes cry, and always feel at home with the Barone family. But while fans still cherish those unforgettable moments, few realize the tragedies that touched the lives of many of the actors behind these beloved characters. In this video, we honor 14 Everybody Loves Raymond stars who are no longer with us, sharing their remarkable journeys, struggles, and legacies that live on. Doris Roberts as Marie Barone. Doris Roberts, born Doris Green on November 4, 1925, in St. Louis, Missouri. Louis, Missouri, became the unforgettable Marie Barone, the nosy, overbearing, and often hilarious mother we loved to hate. She brought such complexity to Marie that the character became one of the most recognizable TV mothers in history. Doris's ability to balance Marie's meddling ways with moments of vulnerability made her a standout on Everybody Loves Raymond, earning her 4 Emmy Awards for the role. Doris's life off-screen was filled with its own share of challenges. Abandoned by her father at a young age, she took her stepfather's surname and grew up in the Bronx with her mother and grandparents. She found early success on stage and on television, appearing in shows like Remington Steele and earning acclaim long before Raymond came along. Behind her success, Doris endured private sorrow, including the loss of her second husband, writer William Goyen, to leukemia. She channeled her grief into her craft, and it was during this period that Raymond became the centerpiece of her career. Doris battled pulmonary hypertension and high blood pressure for years, but continued working well into her 80s, with one of her last notable roles in Medea's Witness Protection in 2012. She passed away in her sleep on April 17, 2016, at the age of 90. Her co-stars remembered her with great affection. Patricia Heaton called her funny and tough, and a consummate professional, while Ray Romano spoke of how fans always named Marie as their favorite character. Doris's legacy remains strong, a reminder of the power of laughter and heart in storytelling. Peter Boyle as Frank Barone. Peter Boyle, born October 18, 1935 in Norristown, Pennsylvania, brought Frank Barone to life, the blunt, grumpy, yet endearing father whose catchphrase, "Holy crap," became iconic. Boyle's portrayal gave Frank surprising layers beneath his tough exterior, making him a fan favorite across the show's 9 seasons. Peter's path to stardom was far from easy. After a nervous breakdown ended his brief military career, he moved to New York, working odd jobs while studying acting under Uta Hagen. His breakthrough came in the 1970s Joe, a controversial film that opened doors for him. Boyle gained fame playing the monster in Young Frankenstein and refused roles that glorified violence, standing firm in his beliefs. In his personal life, Peter met his wife, journalist Lorraine Alterman, during Young Frankenstein. He proposed while still in his monster makeup, a story as unique as their love. Together, they raised 2 daughters. Peter faced significant health battles, including a near-fatal stroke in 1990 that left him unable to speak or walk for months. He made a remarkable recovery, winning an Emmy for The X-Files before joining Raymond. In 1999, he suffered a heart attack on set, but returned to work and reconnected with his Catholic faith during recovery. Peter passed away on December 12, 2006, at age 71 from heart disease and multiple myeloma. His wife founded the Peter Boyle Memorial Fund, which has raised millions for myeloma research. Peter's co-stars remembered him as a brilliant actor and a gentle soul, leaving behind a legacy as rich as the characters he played. Sawyer Sweden as Jeffrey Barone. Sawyer Sweden was born on May 12, 1995, in Brownwood, Texas. Alongside his twin brother Sullivan, he joined Everybody Loves Raymond at just 16 months old, playing Jeffrey Barone, one of Ray and Deborah's twin sons. The Sweden twins grew up on set, bringing authenticity and charm to the Barone household and becoming beloved by fans. But life after Raymond presented challenges for Sawyer. When the show ended in 2005, Sawyer stepped away from the spotlight and found it difficult to adjust. The transition from child star to private citizen left him feeling adrift as he worked to navigate the pressures of early fame and find his identity beyond his well-known TV role. Despite the support of his family and friends, Sawyer faced personal struggles that were largely unseen by the public. On April 23, 2015, just weeks before his 20th birthday, Sawyer's life ended unexpectedly. The news deeply saddened his co-stars and the entertainment community. Romano described him as a wonderful and sweet kid, and his sister Madeline encouraged others to reach out to loved ones and remind them how much they are valued. Sawyer's story serves as an important reminder of the emotional challenges that can come with growing up in the public eye. His memory lives on as a call for kindness, understanding, and support for those who may be facing their own quiet battles. Fred Willard as Hank McDougal. Fred Willard, born September 18, 1933 in Cleveland, Ohio, was a master of improvisational comedy and mockumentary-style humor. On Everybody Loves Raymond, he played Hank McDougal, Amy's straight-laced religious father whose awkwardness provided endless laughs. Fred's career was filled with memorable performances in films like Best in Show and Anchorman, as well as television hits like Modern Family, where he played Phil Dunphy's dad. His talent for blending sincerity with absurdity made him one of the most beloved comic actors of his generation. Behind his humor, Fred faced personal challenges, including the loss of his wife of 50 years, Mary Willard, in 2018. Though grief weighed on him, he continued to work, finding solace in his craft. Fred passed away on May 15, 2020, at age 86 from natural causes. His colleagues remembered him as a kind-hearted man with impeccable comedic timing. Phil Rosenthal, Raymond's creator, called him one of the world's funniest people, and Steve Carell, his Space Force co-star, praised him as the funniest man he had ever worked with. Fred left behind a legacy of joy and laughter that continues to brighten screens today. Georgia Engel as Pat McDougal. Georgia Engel, born on July 28, 1948 in Washington, D.C., brought a unique sweetness and warmth to Everybody Loves Raymond as Pat McDougal, Amy's gentle, soft-spoken mother. With her wide-eyed innocence and signature airy voice, Georgia made Pat a perfect contrast to the loud, meddling Barones, offering a calm presence in the chaos of family dinners and awkward gatherings. Before joining Raymond, Georgia was already a beloved figure on television thanks to her role as Georgette Franklin on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, for which she earned 2 Emmy nominations. Her ability to create lovable, endearing characters was unmatched, and that charm carried over to her performance as Pat. She earned 3 Emmy nominations during her time on Raymond, a testament to how she made the most of every scene she appeared in, no matter how small. Off-screen, Georgia lived a quiet and private life. A devout Christian Scientist, she was known for her kindness and humility. She never married and had no children, devoting herself instead to her faith and her career. Georgia's beliefs would later play a role in her final chapter, as she declined medical treatment in accordance with her religious convictions. Georgia passed away on April 12, 2019, at the age of 70. The exact cause of her death was never disclosed, leaving many to wonder whether medical intervention might have prolonged her life. Despite this, she was remembered by friends, colleagues, and fans as a gentle soul who brightened every room she entered. Her legacy endures through the characters she brought to life. Women who were soft-spoken but strong, quirky but deeply human. Georgia's portrayal of Pat McDougal remains a fan favorite, a reminder of the power of subtlety and grace in comedy. Katherine Helmond as Lois Whelan. Katherine Helmond, born July 5, 1929 in Galveston, Texas, was a seasoned actress known for portraying sophisticated, often self-absorbed women with wit and elegance. On Everybody Loves Raymond, she played Lois Whelan, Deborah's mother, a refined, emotionally distant woman whose indifference to Deborah stood in stark contrast to Marie's constant interference. Katherine's contribution to the show went beyond just playing the role. She offered input on Lois's character, helping the writers craft a woman whose self-absorption humorously highlighted the flaws in Deborah's upbringing. Lois became a memorable figure in the series, appearing in key family moments and providing plenty of awkward laughs. Katherine had already built an impressive career before Raymond, earning Golden Globes for her roles in Soap and Who's the Boss, and appearing in films like Brazil. Her ability to balance charm with a sly edge made her a standout in every project she touched. In her personal life, Katherine found stability and love with her husband, David Christian, whom she married in 1969. Their long-lasting marriage was a source of strength as she faced life's challenges, including her greatest battle, Alzheimer's disease. The cruel illness gradually robbed Katherine of the sharp mind and creative spark that had defined her life and career. Despite stepping away from acting in her later years, she remained beloved by fans and colleagues alike. Katherine passed away on February 23, 2019, at the age of 89 due to complications from Alzheimer's. Patricia Heaton, who played her on-screen daughter Deborah, called her a class act and a role model. Katherine's legacy lives on in her body of work and the hearts of those she inspired. Robert Culp as Warren Whelan. Robert Culp, born August 16, 1930, in Oakland, California, was a trailblazer in television, best known for breaking racial barriers in I Spy alongside Bill Cosby. On Everybody Loves Raymond, he brought his signature sophistication to the role of Warren Whelan, Deborah's thoughtful and reserved father. Warren was the perfect partner to Lois, offering quiet support while embodying an understated dignity. Robert's presence added depth to Deborah's family dynamic, and his chemistry with Katherine Helmond created memorable moments that complemented the louder, messier Barone clan. Culp's career spanned more than 5 decades. In addition to I Spy, he appeared in The Greatest American Hero, The Outer Limits, and countless other shows and films. His versatility, from action hero to comedic straight man, made him one of television's most reliable and respected actors. Despite his on-screen poise, Robert's personal life was filled with ups and downs. He married 5 times, with his first 4 marriages ending in divorce. He remained devoted to his 5 children and pursued creative projects well into his later years, including writing and dreaming of adapting Terry and the Pirates, a childhood favorite. On March 24, 2010, Robert Culp passed away at age 79 after suffering a heart attack during a walk near his Los Angeles home. His death was sudden, leaving fans and colleagues stunned. Phil Rosenthal, creator of Raymond, praised Robert's contribution to the show and spoke of the special meaning behind the episode The In-Laws, which introduced Warren and Lois. Robert Culp left behind a legacy of groundbreaking work, quiet strength, and a commitment to his craft that still resonates today. Jean Stapleton as Aunt Alda. Jean Stapleton, born January 19, 1923 in New York City, was a true legend of American television. Best known for her role as Edith Bunker on All in the Family, she won 3 Emmy Awards and became a symbol of kindness and resilience. On Everybody Loves Raymond, Jean appeared in Season 1 as Aunt Alda, Marie's sister, bringing warmth and humor to a family funeral episode. Even in her single appearance, Jean made a lasting impression, trading witty barbs with Doris Roberts' Marie and adding heart to the storyline. Her presence elevated the episode, a reminder of her extraordinary talent. Outside of Raymond, Jean enjoyed a storied career across theater, film, and television. She continued acting into the early 2000s, earning accolades and honors, including induction into the Television Hall of Fame in 2002. Jean was known for her generosity of spirit and love of collaboration. In interviews, she often spoke of the marvelous collaboration that defined All in the Family, and she carried that same attitude into all her work. Jean passed away on May 31st, 2013, at age 90 from natural causes. She was mourned by colleagues, fans, and friends who remembered her as not just a great actress, but a great human being. Norman Lear, the creator of All in the Family, called her a teacher of how to be a human being. Jean's brief turn on Raymond remains a beloved moment in her incredible career. Len Lesser as Garvin. Len Lesser, born December 3, 1922, in New York City, was a familiar face to television audiences long before he joined Everybody Loves Raymond. On the show, he played Garvin, Frank Barone's exuberant lodge buddy, who greeted Ray with contagious enthusiasm and his signature shout, "Hey, Ray's here!" His appearances, though brief, always brought an extra spark of humor and warmth to the episodes. Len was perhaps best known to many for another unforgettable role, Uncle Leo on Seinfeld. Like Garvin, Uncle Leo was full of boisterous energy and comic timing, traits that made Len a scene stealer in both series. Lesser's career stretched across decades. He worked steadily in film and television, with appearances in projects like The Outlaw Josie Wales, Birdman of Alcatraz, Get Smart, and Boy Meets World. His deep voice, expressive face, and impeccable comic timing made him a favorite of both directors and audiences. Off-screen, Len was known for his kindness and generosity. His daughter Michelle described him as a great grandpa and an amazing father, with a heart of gold and a sense of humor of platinum. He cherished family and friends, and despite his fame, lived with humility and grace. In his later years, Len battled cancer-related pneumonia. He passed away peacefully on February 16, 2011, at the age of 88. The legacy he left behind is one of joy and laughter. Whether as Garvin or Uncle Leo, Len Lesser remains part of the fabric of American sitcom history, a character actor who made every role unforgettable. Charles Durning as Father Hubley. Charles Durning, born February 28, 1923, in Highland Falls, New York, brought heart, wisdom, and gentle humor to Everybody Loves Raymond as Father Hubley, the family's priest. He officiated Ray and Deborah's wedding, in flashbacks, and their vow renewal, and was often called upon to help the Barones untangle their moral and marital dilemmas. Beyond Raymond, Durning was one of America's most honored character actors, with 2 Oscar nominations for The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas and To Be or Not to Be, along with countless roles in film and television. But his story went far deeper than Hollywood. Durning was a real-life war hero. At just 21, he landed on the beaches of Normandy during D-Day, survived the Battle of the Bulge, and was wounded multiple times, earning the Silver Star, Bronze Star, and 3 Purple Hearts. The horrors of war haunted him, but he transformed his pain into powerful performances that touched audiences for decades. Off-screen, Durning experienced heartbreak in his personal life. His first marriage to Carol Dowdy ended in divorce, and his second marriage to Mary Ann Emilio ended in legal separation. Yet, he remained devoted to his children and to his craft, working tirelessly and using acting as a form of healing. Charles Durning passed away at age 89 on December 24, 2012, at his Manhattan home. He was laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery, a fitting tribute to a man who served his country as valiantly as he served his art. Durning's portrayal of Father Hubley remains one of many reminders of his profound humanity and talent. David Byrd, as Mr. Stipes. David Byrd, born September 3, 1932, in New York City, was one of those actors whose face you recognize instantly, even if his name wasn't always on the tip of your tongue. On Everybody Loves Raymond, he played Mr. Stipes, Robert's quirky landlord, in 2 memorable episodes that highlighted Robert's often awkward attempts at independence. Byrd's portrayal of Mr. Stipes, eccentric, slightly intrusive, but ultimately harmless, provided a humorous parallel to the intrusive Baroness that Robert was trying to escape. The dynamic between Mr. Stipes and his wife, played by Anna Berger, gave viewers another glimpse at how Robert's search for peace often led him into equally chaotic situations. Outside of Raymond, David Byrd had a long, varied career on stage, television, and film. He made appearances in Seinfeld, Hudson Hawk, and The Hudsucker Proxy, showcasing his knack for comedy and character work. Byrd was a veteran of the stage as well, where he honed his skills in classic and contemporary productions. Tragically, David Byrd's appearance on Everybody Loves Raymond marked the final screen role of his career. He passed away on January 26, 2001, at the age of 68. His contribution to Raymond may have been brief, but it left a lasting impression, adding to the rich tapestry of characters that made the show so relatable and beloved. Anna Berger as Mrs. Stipes. Anna Berger, born July 26, 1922, in New York City, was a veteran character actress with a gift for playing sharp-tongued, no-nonsense matriarchs. As Mrs. Stipes on Everybody Loves Raymond, she embodied a Marie-like figure who, along with her husband Mr. Stipes, made Robert realize that escaping his parents didn't mean escaping meddling elders altogether. Anna's career began on Broadway in the 1950s, and she transitioned seamlessly into film and television. She frequently portrayed mothers, grandmothers, and neighbors, bringing authenticity to every role. Her credits included memorable turns in The Taking of Pelham 123, Crimes and Misdemeanors, Endless Love, The Sopranos, and NYPD Blue. Anna's final film role was in the French film Chinese Puzzle, reflecting the global respect she earned in her career. She continued acting well into her later years, beloved for her ability to bring humor, grit, and heart to even the smallest parts. Anna Berger passed away on May 26, 2014, at the age of 91. She left behind a body of work that stands as a tribute to the power of character actors, the unsung heroes who bring stories to life in the most authentic ways. Max Rosenthal as Max. Max Rosenthal, born in Germany in 1926, lived a life that could inspire a film of its own, a journey of survival, resilience, and quiet strength. As a young boy, Max witnessed the rise of Nazi terror firsthand. His family, like so many Jewish families, found their lives under threat. In 1938, when Max was just 12 years old, they made the courageous decision to flee their home in Berlin, escaping the horrors of the Holocaust. The Rosenthal family eventually reached safety in New York City, where they began rebuilding their lives from scratch, far from the shadows of persecution. In America, Max embodied the spirit of perseverance. He worked hard to provide for his family and became known not only for his resilience, but also for his gentle humor and warm personality. He married Helen, herself a fellow Holocaust survivor, and together they raised two sons, Phil and Richard. Max instilled in his children a deep appreciation for life, family, and laughter, values that would go on to shape his son Phil Rosenthal's creative vision. When Phil created Everybody Loves Raymond, he drew heavily from his own family's dynamics and experiences. It was only fitting that Max would eventually become part of the show's world, appearing in 5 episodes as a member of Frank Barone's lodge. Though his role was small, Max's presence brought authenticity and a special spark that made those scenes memorable. Audiences who may not have known the full story behind the man on screen still felt his warmth and charm. Beyond Everybody Loves Raymond, Max appeared on Phil's later series Somebody Feed Phil, where viewers got to see more of his natural wit and heart. His appearances on the show were fan favorites, as he and Helen shared their playful banter, love of food, and zest for life. They reminded audiences not only of the joys of family, but also of the incredible strength it takes to survive and thrive after unthinkable hardship. Max Rosenthal passed away on June 26, 2021, at the remarkable age of 95. His death came just 2 years after the passing of his beloved wife Helen in 2019. Together, they had shared more than 6 decades of marriage, building a life filled with love, resilience, and community. Phil Rosenthal paid tribute to his father by sharing heartfelt memories of Max's kindness, humor, and enduring optimism. He spoke of how his father's life story, from escaping Nazi Germany to helping inspire one of the most beloved sitcoms in television history, was a testament to hope and perseverance. Albert Romano as Albert. Albert Romano, born in 1925 in New York City, was much more than a recurring face on Everybody Loves Raymond. He was a real-life inspiration behind some of the show's most heartfelt and humorous moments. Though his on-screen appearances as Frank Barone's lodge buddy were brief and unassuming, Albert's impact on the series ran deep, helping to shape the authenticity and warmth that made the show resonate with millions of viewers. Albert's path in life was defined by hard work, humility, and a deep devotion to his family. He raised his children with a mixture of old-school values, a lively sense of humor, and plenty of love. Among his children was Ray Romano, who would go on to become one of television's most beloved comedians. Albert was a constant presence in Ray's life, offering unwavering support as Ray navigated the ups and downs of building a career in comedy. It was Albert's natural wit and quirky behavior that often sparked creative ideas for Ray. One notable example was the time Albert recorded a message on Ray's answering machine in such a hilarious and unexpected way that it became the seed for discussions between Ray and Phil Rosenthal, the creator of Everybody Loves Raymond. That single moment, born from Albert's playful spirit, was part of the early brainstorming that led to the creation of a sitcom rooted in real family dynamics, where small, everyday incidents could become comedic gold. When the show took shape, it felt only fitting to give Albert a small place in it. He appeared in several episodes as one of Frank's lodge friends, a role that allowed him to step into the fictional world he had helped inspire. Though his screen time was limited, his appearances delighted fans who knew of the connection between the character and the real man behind the scenes. Albert brought authenticity to those moments, blending seamlessly into the show's tapestry of colorful characters. Off-screen, Albert was known for his gentle humor, kindness, and devotion to his wife, Lucy, and their family. He had a quiet pride in Ray's success, but was never one to seek the spotlight for himself. Those who knew him described him as modest and good-natured, content to see his family thrive and happy to lend a helping hand or a joke whenever the moment called for it. Albert passed away on March 11, 2010, at the age of 84. His loss was deeply felt by his family and by those connected to the Everybody Loves Raymond family. Yet, his legacy endures, not only through his direct contribution to the show, but through the humor, heart, and humanity that his son brought to the screen, inspired by the very real man who had helped raise him. Each of these actors, from household names to beloved character players, helped make Everybody Loves Raymond the classic we know today. Their talent, dedication, and humanity shone through in every laugh, every heartfelt moment, and every awkward family dinner. Though they are gone, their legacies live on in the episodes we continue to cherish. Who was your favorite Everybody Loves Raymond character? Share your memories in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories celebrating the stars who made TV history.